YouTube, what's good, man? It's your boy Mon, and we back with another video. The first video, second video, 2025 actually, and we got a mindset video, man. The 2025 we chasing the bag, so we're gonna start out 2025 with a mindset video. Millionaire at 24, he said this mindset made him that. You know what I'm saying? Made him millionaire at 24. So we finna check this out, see what's going on, see what he talking about. Let me make myself a little bit bigger for you, so y'all can see me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're going big out 2025. Coincidence. The video is 25 minutes. Let's get to it, man. Welcome back to Yalvish channel. It's your boy Mon, and let's get straight to the video. I don't know if I said that.
My entire life, more than anything I could have purchased, more than any person, this one idea did it for me, and this is it.
Why he like he finna cry?
I promise you that you will not hear any of these words come out of my mouth for this entire video, okay? Cold shower, meditation, journal, sauna, and cold plunge. None of that.
Okay.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way. I've always had a problem with that bald kickboxer guy. This guy gets online, he's tall, he's well-dressed, 4-time world champion kickboxer, probably worth like almost $1 billion now, and you want to be just like him. But he'll say stuff along the lines of like, I was born this way. I was always going to do great things. I've had that fire in my belly since I was a baby.
Me too.
And he was always
Me too.
born to be
Born
top
like
G.
this.
And I believe
Born
him
to be
too.
great.
I think that Tate has like tiger blood and he's like born to crush. But 99% of people watching those videos cannot say the same. 99% of people are born losers. His advice is just not relatable to the average person. He's nothing like you.
Them stars in their Rolls Royce is different, boy. I know a lot of people getting stars in a lot of cars nowadays, kind of a normal thing. I'm definitely gonna get some stars in one of my cars before it's over with. You know what I'm saying? But the stars, the original mugs, they just hit different. You can't get. I don't want if they have shooting stars in Rolls Royce. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Shooting stars in Rolls Royce, because I know you can get them in some cars. Comment down below if you can get a shooting star in Rolls Royce. And I can't even say the Rolls whatever.
And you are nothing like him. He's never been where you are. He just wants to paint a picture. He's really good at painting a picture of being the type of guy that you want to be. There are almost no examples of people who were actual losers and then came up and then were not a loser. Like losers who transformed themselves into something great. I can't find any of them. Therefore, you subconsciously accept these traits that you hate about yourself and nothing ever changes for you. I'm here to tell you something. And I know this is just a video that appeared on your feed. I know I'm a random guy. I know that people say that their words mean a lot all the time, but if you're gonna sit and ponder for any one singular idea for the rest of the day or for the rest of the week, please let it be this. I'm saying this because this idea, this one idea, has changed my...
All right, bro. See, this the type of bitch, they be trying to sell stuff when they always want to talk and beat around the bush and this one idea and don't say what the idea is. Come on, bro. Give me the idea, man.
Entire life, my whole experience while sitting on this floating rock, existing. More than anything I could have purchased, more than any person, this one idea did it for me, and this is it. As a human being, you have the ability to change anything you don't like about yourself. It doesn't matter if it's a person.
Nah, that's a fact though, bro. Whatever we want to change, whatever we feel like we can do it. I mean, if you feel like you want to lose weight, you can do that. If you, some may be harder than others, but at the end of the day, you can do that. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it.
Trait that you've had since you could talk. It doesn't matter if it was a belief that your parents gave you before you were even born. It does not matter what it is. Any single thing that you want to change can change. If you identify as lazy, you can change that. If you identify as socially awkward, you can definitely change that. It's actually super easy. You identify as unlovable, super easy to change.
You can change anything that you don't like about yourself. You could change it, and it's possible.
Dumb or not good enough or not smart enough or not capable of starting a business, any of those things, I know you think.
I ain't gonna cap. Y'all can't tell me bro ain't out that gad or boy geeked up. But look at boy, he bloodshot, his eyes bloodshot red.
Those in your head kind of deep down, but you never fully express it. Those can all change. And I know this because I've done it. Every single one of those things I just listed, I used to be. Introverted, highly anxious, super unmotivated, super undisciplined, lazy, awkward, not thoughtful, whatever. I was a shadow of myself. Okay, this is a picture of me when I was 18. You can kind of see that I just had no life in those eyes, no will to do and
His eyes always red. He just always look like that, huh? That boy, like a sloth.
To conquer. I had zero testosterone. I just had zero confidence. Like there was nothing about myself that I really loved. But as we speak, I have multiple millions of dollars to my name. I have 19 people that work for me directly, including 2 family members. I retired my mom and I pay her 6 figures a year just because she gave me a really good childhood. I live in Miami with a fairly large circle of friends. We're all killing it. I'm dating a hot Latina that I plan to marry in the next couple of years.
That boy say a hot Latina.
3 vehicles I own go 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. And I got stars on the roof right now. So with that.
Nah, that Rolls Royce and that McLaren was definitely sick. Hold on, let's go back to that McLaren. That BMW too though. You know, that's my dream car. Need that M3. If y'all didn't know, I need an M3. So help me get that, man. Don't like the video, subscribe, and comment down below your dream car. M3 I need it, but that McLaren and that Rolls Royce. Ooh-wee.
0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. And I got stars on the roof right now. So with that, here are 5 things that I did to transition from being an absolute loser to being top 0.01% for my age group. The first thing that made me not a loser is getting what people in the industry call a mission. And this might be a buzzword, this might be a word that you're kind of sick of hearing, but I underestimated the importance of this for a long time. I'm sure you've met people in life before who kind of just like have no direction, or maybe you are this person. You're kind of just letting life happen to you, and there's nothing really that you're like working towards, whether it's like a revenue generating thing, like you're trying to make money, or whether it's an artistic thing, or whether it's like a passion thing. But most people don't have this, and this is why most people are kind of bums. Like they're
But speaking facts, man, you can't be a millionaire without having a millionaire goal. You can't wake up and be a millionaire today. Go sit on the couch, watch TV. You can't wake up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be by the end of the year, I'm gonna be fit," and the next thing you eat is chips, cookies, and you sit on the couch watching a movie. You gotta get active, man. You gotta get in that field, man. You gotta get active.
NPCs, as you will. There's very few people.
And by being active, you can't be the one who just doing stuff to make you look like you're doing something. So, oh, let me go cut my grass. Oh, it's leaves in the yard. Yes, all that needs to be done, but you can't let that satisfy your drive and be like, oh, I did something today. At the end of the day, you gotta set a goal and work to accomplish the goal. So if your goal is to work out, them leaves and that grass ain't gonna help you. You gotta eat right. Go to the gym. Stay motivated. And we're not talking about that 2025, New Year resolution stuff. We talking about all year long. Put a fire under your ass and get up off your ass and do what you need to do. Set a goal, set a mission, and get it done. That's what we on our 2025.
Planet that have passion, but the people that do, that passion is dedicated to what we call a mission. And so what the mission is very simple. It's just an obsession. It's just a thing that you work on every single day, no matter what, because you love it. And the thing that stops a lot of people is that you don't really have anything that you love. And it's because you haven't looked. It's because you don't do anything. These are all like the traits of being kind of a bum, kind of a loser. I stumbled upon my mission at probably the best time that I could have. It was also the best thing that I could have done. And it was a perfect thing that I could work on with my skill set that I already had. This is copywriting that I'm talking about. When I discovered copywriting, it lit me up where I just could not believe it was possible to make stupid money online with the skill of writing. When the mission manifested, what it looked like for me was I kind of went from being just aimless, like kind of working on a degree, mostly not. And then everyone kind of saw me just switch, where every single day I would wake up and I had one thing on my to-do list, and it was just get clients. That was the only thing I cared about. That was all I wanted to do. And that inherently kind of made me interesting because, again, most people don't have that passion thing. It's like the special ingredient for like what puts life in your eyes. And again, it doesn't have to be a thing that generates revenue. It can just be a thing that you just love to do. But anytime you've ever met someone who has that charisma, they have that gene in them where they just like don't quit. Like they just pick a thing that they love and they just work on it, even if it's stupid. But every single successful person or every person who has some sort of motion, they also have a mission. And the cool thing about that is that it acts like a friend to you. And this is gonna sound very rapper-esque, but the trenches are kind of lonely. When you're working on something, when you're trying to make something yourself, no one really wants to root for you. No one's really doing it with you because, again, like this is a 1% thing.
Boy, he said something then. When you trying to be great, let me sum it up for you. When you trying to be great, you don't have many people. You might as well say no one room for you. Because when you be great, it's the less than 1% thing. So why would you expect someone who ain't been great or ain't been to great heights or great levels to be just cheering for you to be great? They don't even know what great is. Take the road, take the path by yourself. If that's the case, if you got friends that's on that road, the path with you, you could take them with you. But don't expect it. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect it. Just keep doing you and looking for great outcomes. Sometimes you gotta love the journey of the path of what you're doing. Yeah, man, I'm getting my bag today.
Likely that your friends are also going to be 1%. And so when you have this mission, it's kind of all you have. And I remember like I got very lonely around 2021, like spring of 2021, because I had just moved out for the first time. I just wasn't spending very much time with my friends because I just didn't have time. I was working on the thing I wanted to do, which was copywriting. I was making money too. I was probably around like 20,000-ish a month. And that's phenomenal, but I still like, I was lonely as fuck. And it was kind of sad, but it wasn't because I had the thing that I was working on. I had copywriting, and it was like, it was all I needed to sort of.
What the world is copywriting, man? I don't know if you're gonna tell us in this video. Comment down below if you know what copywriting is. I know copywriting is you use somebody else's music and you get copyright. Like that's all I know. But I don't know like how you make money with it.
Keep pushing, because that's what you can wake up every day and dedicate yourself to. A lot of people like they dedicate themselves to relationships, and you realize that like people become very unattractive when all they care about is their significant other. It's way more likely that you're going to be an attractive person, whether it's to a significant other or to your friends or from strangers or anyone. If you have something that you care about more than anything else, that's what the mission is. That's the purpose that it serves. And the quicker you can figure out what that thing is for you, the better off you're going to be, so you can move on to the next.
Indeed, anybody whoever been to Rolls Royce, how you say the word, bro? The R. You better didn't. If you ever been in a double R, are these right here lights on this panel right here, or are they reflections of us of the roof? Because if this is shiny material, you can get a reflection. So let me know in the comments.
The second thing that I started doing to be successful and not a loser that I wrote down was get spiritual. I was an atheist for a long time, actually my whole life.
Man, bro, this is a huge one, bro. You better find the higher power, man. And that just it is what it is. I'm see what he say, but find the higher power. You gotta believe in something bigger and greater than Earth. You got to, man. It is whatever that may be for you. Find it. I know mine for sure.
Was kind of raised Catholic, but I never really like bought it because I couldn't see it. I kind of always rejected the idea of there being a universe or God or anything that I couldn't see. I'm not expecting you to switch religions or become spiritual or start believing something that you don't, but I am asking you to have an open mind to it, because every single successful person that I know believes in some sort of higher power, whether they call it God or the universe or whatever. They understand that there is something greater than them that they're kind of aspiring to, and they can lean on for support. There were two separate times in my adulthood when I started like kind of looking for God and started using the word God. It was when I first started copywriting. I kind of was looking for like a community, but that wasn't the right reason. The second time was like about a year and a half ago. Like it was like June 2023 when I started realizing that I had all of this stuff. And I was like, there's no way that I like deserve all this. There's no way that I did all of this on my own. Like there must be some sort of thing, invisible hand that kind of like helped me get this, and there must be a reason for it. You can feel like really egotistical.
I'm telling you, man, when you get to achieving something is a feeling, especially when you work hard, it's a feeling that you get to your body like, man, that was powerful, because you start understanding the things you went through, the things you did, and how you got there. It just was almost what some people say impossible, but it's possible because it was done. So with that being said, you start to almost living, what am I trying to say? That higher power is within you, and you start to understand that, and it's coming out. You understand that the higher power gave you this. You didn't do it alone. There was no way you was able to work this many hours. There's no way you was able to, but you got that power from something. And that's what you got to understand.
when you know, have all this stuff and you think that the universe or God favored you and there's all these people that have nothing. But then you have to think about, should I think about why it is, or should I just be grateful and just like do my best to give back? And so I started thinking more about like having a relationship with a higher power that has just been giving me blessings, you know, since I started making money online. That's kind of when it started, or maybe even before that. That was the way that I picked it up. That's how I figured out
blessings every day, man. That's one thing we can always never. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to be breathing. The blessing if you are walking on your own 2 feet. If you are in a wheelchair, it's a blessing because you're still here. It's a blessing in every aspect of life, no matter what. If I can guarantee there's always somebody doing worse than you, and I can guarantee there's always somebody doing bad. I'm tripping. I can guarantee there's always somebody doing worse, and I can guarantee there's always somebody doing better. So be appreciative for where you are, and thankful. Yeah, and thankful and grateful.
We did with the information was what actually matters and what you should be doing too. Before that, I never threw up any prayers. I never really like thought about it too much. I never like followed the rules. For example, like love thy neighbor, or like let go and let God. Like all these little maxims that you hear in religion or spirituality, I never really got it. And I was also very anxious. Like even after I was making money, I still had that same anxiety that I was talking about when I was like 19, 20, and I had no idea what was going on. I was kind of just a mess. And once I started being able to give some of that to someone else, just like every other successful person does, it made me a lot lighter, and it made it way easier for me to carry on when stuff gets tough. So
man, that's like one of the greatest, he hit a point. That's like one of the greatest feelings, to be able to be at a point where you can give back, give people. And I did something you may consider it small or big, but I remember one time I went to a restaurant and tipped a lady $100, and the way she came, her face lit up off of just $100 was like outstanding. It was like the best part of the day. Like I was happy, she was grateful, and it just was what it was. So giving back is just a great feeling. It brings life to you, and it just makes you feel great. So if you're at the predicament to give back, I say give back, man. It even helps you keep going because you enjoyed that moment. Giving back is not for, I won't say for everyone, but if you're at a level to give back, you definitely should. I feel like.
Recently, it's about a month and a half ago, I had this.
And giving back don't always mean money. And if you don't have the money to give back, you can give time, you can give words to wisdom. It's plenty of things you can give back that's just not money. So as the world, we should work to give to each other and keep growing and strengthening each other. Iron sharpen iron.
Really rough week. It was a week where I put in probably like 70 or 80 hours. I had this project that I was working on. I had to make it good. It had to be perfect. There was a bunch of money on the line, and if I messed it up, it was gonna be a huge disappointment. It would affect our bottom line. Nobody else on my team or any of my friends or in the world gave a fuck that I was doing that. Nobody really cared. I was the only person that I could sort of depend on. It was just me and God. And I remember that was when I was praying the most, when I was just throwing up. And it wasn't even to like ask for help. All I was doing was trying to be grateful. All I was doing was trying to make sure that I kept in perspective like what I had. Where like, if you think of it as like a relationship, you're not gonna just be asking for things in a relationship all the time. You're gonna be like giving as much as you get, right? And so I always try and balance out asks versus being grateful as much as I can, to the point where I try not to ask for anything at all and try and just give thanks. Anytime I had a complaint about the things that were going on this week, or like, you know, me being stressed about stuff, I would just say like, I'm grateful that I get this opportunity to even be in this position, and I know you got me. And it worked out exactly how I thought it was going to. It was like one of the biggest days or weeks in business that we'd had in a long time. And I knew it was just because I offloaded all of that stress and I gave it up upstairs. That was one of the only ways that I could have gotten through that. And when you're trying,
it get deep, man. I'm telling you, it get deep, man. Just listen. He's been facts. I'm telling you, I've been through some of the same situations, and I still am striving to do better. I don't think you should ever be complacent, but you gotta have a mixture of not being complacent and grateful, and that's a blessing to be where I'm at today.
Go through the process of transition and you're trying to change, you're trying to be better. You can't do that alone. I told you about the mission already, but you already know that your friends and your family don't really give a fuck. You gotta have the only person who gives a fuck besides you, and that's up there. Universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Third thing that I wish I knew earlier, that once I realized it made me not a loser, or at least not feel like a loser, which is the most important part, especially for this one, is swag where you're at. And I wish I came up with
Swag where you at. He got some point, man. I'm talking about young kid got brain. Swag where you at. Stop trying to be. I bet you this is what he getting at. I don't even know. I really ain't seen this video yet. It's my first time. But I think it's pretty easy to sum up what he's saying. Wherever you at in life, enjoy it and don't try to live above your means. Simple.
that phrase. I didn't. Shout out Grant Lannon. He's one of my wisest friends. But he talks about this all the time, swag where you're at. So what does that mean? When you think about confident people, you think about people that have the most stuff, like they're 6'5", they're rich, they got a cool car, they got a hot wife or something like that. You think about people that have all this stuff, and you would think that because that would make you confident if you had all that. If you were that person, you'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm confident. The thing is though, with real confident people, it's not about all the stuff that you have.
I'm trying to tell you, it's not about what you got, it's about who you are. Simple.
Stuff that you are. It's about swagging where you're at. You and I both know that you can't really change your height. You can't change the way you look for the most part. You can get in the gym, I guess. But I know fat people that are confident too. Why is that? It's not because they're the best looking person ever, they have the most stuff. It's because they're just cool with who they are. And this is an exercise that I started doing more recently, where anytime I felt like I didn't have something that was comparable to someone else, like if I'm just, cause I'm 5'8", if I'm in a group of people who are all 6'4", like I feel short as fuck. But you can reframe everything that you think is bad or unlikable about yourself into something that is likable or.
That kid got brain, you hear me? Everything can be turned into positive. Even negative things that you think are bad for you in your life, that happen to you in your life, that are bad or what you would consider bad, it can be spun to be something good. With all pros, there's a con, and all cons, there's a pro. It's just how life is. If you feel like, oh, I made all these millions, I did this year, 9 out of 10 something lacking. You probably need to strengthen your mental health because you were too focused on this. So I'm just trying to show you to understand that it's even millionaires that be stressed out and doing things that they shouldn't, because it ain't all about the money. You know what I'm saying? You got to, dang what he said, y'all know what he said. Whatever he said, oh, swag where you are. You got to swag where you are.
And completely change the paradigm in which you think about it. If there's something about yourself that you don't like, you have to either like just be cool with it and tell yourself that that's why you're cool, or do something to change it and just like do it with a smile on your face. And I used to have this sort of thing that I would say, where it's like, I would just say like, no matter what, I'd just be like, yo, I'm the best. And people would be like, why are you the best?
I'm the
And
best.
I'd just be like, well, I just am. Like, cause you don't have to have a reason. You don't have to have a reason to like feel yourself.
I'm the best.
And if you wake up in the morning and tell yourself that you're the fucking best, even if like you kind of look like shit.
That, telling yourself that every day, that gonna psychologically train your mind that you are the best regardless. And you gonna walk around, you gonna start having aura. You know what aura is. You gonna start having aura, you gonna start having feel good about yourself. You gonna start walking and doing things as you are the best. Speak words of affirmation. Speak that upon your life. Your power of the tongue is very strong.
And maybe you are a little bit out of shape, but you're feeling yourself, and you think like, yo, I'm fucking sexy. I'm just cool as fuck, bro. And I'm likable. And everything's good. Like my life is good. Like
and saying all this, you're gonna speak it to existence.
Thing I need. And like anything I get right now will be extra. And like, yeah, business is down, but like who gives a fuck, bro? Like I'm still him. You know what I mean? I'm still that guy. Who gives a shit? Business is down, okay. It'll be fixed. Like by this time next month, I'll be totally fine. Like you just have to have that like delusional confidence that like is completely unreasonable. The literal meaning of unreasonable meaning like there is no reason for you to be this confident. And the people that are the most likable are the ones that just love themselves. It's not the most attractive people. It's not the richest people. In fact, honestly, the most attractive and the richest people are not super confident because they don't have to be, because they haven't done the work. You know what I mean? Like they've built a business and that's what they place their confidence on, or they've built a sick body and they're 6'4" and that's what they base their confidence on. But if you can just be confident no matter what and just think you're the shit just because, no one can take that away from you. Like no one can like steal your height and make you fat and ugly and make your business go to zero and all of a sudden take your confidence away. You don't need any of that stuff. You can just be you and be like, yo, I'm him because I'm me. That's all you have to say. That's the only reason you need to have confidence. That's the best part about having confidence. That's why it's such an attractive thing, is because it's like, it's unshakable. Doesn't matter what people say about you. Be like, yo, like why, Mace, like why would you be confident? Like you're like the height of my little brother. I'd be like, okay, little brother sounds great, man. Like you can reframe anything that anyone says about you in a positive way just because it's yours. Like you should have this
claim it, own it,
that every single thing about you or anything you touch is better because you touched it or because it is you. A lot of people don't like this. A lot of people think that, you know, if you think like this, you're egotistical or you're a dick, you're an asshole or whatever. But it's like, well, fuck them, because they're all unconfident. None of them.
And one thing you can't do is not take advice from someone who is younger than you. A lot of people that like to try to not take advice from people who are younger than you, and want to listen to people who are older, but they say the older you get, the wiser you get. That's not always. You wiser by what you try to obtain and learn. If you read books, you're going to be a little bit wiser. And what books you read, you're going to be a little bit better at reading. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, whatever someone strives to do, they will be better. If he's been striving to be mental health and working on his mental health for 24 years, well, however many years he's been working on it, and someone got an old 68-year-old and ain't never worked on mental health, he going to be better at it. So in that perspective, the old person needs to listen to the young head. You see what I'm saying?
Themselves. You know what I mean? Like they would so much rather be you than them. They would rather be you with an ego than.
So with that, what I was basically getting at is he teaching me a lot of game. A lot of it I knew, a lot of some of it I didn't. Some of it I knew, and he spent it different ways to give me more sauce that I didn't know. So I always be willing to learn. I always be willing to obtain information and apply it to your life, especially if it applies to you.
I'm all humble and shit. You can kind of reject the idea of humility because the dictionary definition is something like lowering yourself around other people. Why the fuck would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? For other people? No.
I gotta read y'all this, man. Let's just pause the video. I'll be watching this this is on my home screen. No exaggeration. It's always been there. It just give me, you can't really read it because it's so small words, but I know what it is when I see it, and it just keep me going. But this is the quote from Coach Carter that he gave them boys. I can't remember what part of the movie, but it said, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear that we're powerful beyond measures. It's our light, not our darkness that most frightens us. You playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel secure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people to do the same. As we liberate from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And I got that on my home screen. I see that every day, and I almost know it by heart now. It's been a minute though. I actually started to not remember what it say, but I know the first part. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And that's just the truth. Get some, put it around you, let you see it every day so it motivates you to do better this year, man. 2025, we all are going up. We got to keep going and doing better every single day.
Correct answer, if you're trying to actually serve other people and be better for others, you got to be the best version of you. You got to love yourself. You got to swag where the fuck you're at and be confident for no apparent reason, just because you're you. Number 4, and this is something that took me a long time to figure out, but I'm so glad I figured it out. is you have to stop thinking that strangers are the enemy. I grew up thinking that people sucked, because that's like kind of the general consensus. It's like,
That boy preaching, man. That's me though, man. I be in my own bubble. I like to talk to people I know well, and that's what I really want to work on this year is communication, and I mean like building relationships with people I have never met before, being able to go make connections, and connections is major. So that's one of my biggest things I want to work on this year is communication and making connections. And like he said, what the thing was, strangers aren't the enemy. Like when we was young, we got taught stranger danger, stranger danger. Run, you see a stranger, you better run. And as you get old, that don't apply no more. Strangers could become your best friends, wives, or whatever. As men, we go out and talk to strangers, strange women all the time. Not strange women, but stranger women. You get what I'm saying? And whatever happened, happened. You know what I'm saying? So, and we gotta build relationships, and that can also help us get on that jet and skyrocket.
I grew up thinking that people sucked, because that's like kind of the general consensus. It's like a funny, edgy thing to say where it's like, I hate people. People are dumb. Americans are stupid. These people are dumb. Look at these idiots in the way. All these guys are just standing here. You say this so much, and you just become so like just judgmental of everybody forever.
Right.
It makes you afraid of people.
Yeah, you always, oh, they weird. Oh, they did this. Oh, they said that. And it kind of trains your brain to not like anybody because everybody's weird. Everybody gonna be unique in their own way. And you gotta learn to accept people for who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Like the most introverted people are the ones that are the most judgmental. You would think that that wouldn't make sense, but like the people that like are.
That's a fact, bro. That used to be me, bro. So introvert, don't say nothing, but I just be sitting there watching and judging. Watching and judging, man. You got to stop being on the sideline, get in the field, be cool, and talk to people. I'm talking to myself.
Afraid to talk to everybody and have like crazy social anxiety are the ones that just judge everyone. Like it's kind of like a meme where it's like
Social
you have
anxiety.
like the quiet girl who like reads books all the time. She's in the hall of your high school and she's like watching people go by. And it's like she looks at the jocks and she goes, ugh, like look at the jocks walking by. They're so dumb. They're so hairy and fucking sweaty. It's like, dude, you would want to be them. You would want to be the female equivalent of them. Like they're the ones that are having all the fun. I used to think that you couldn't decide if you were an extrovert or an introvert, or at least that being an introvert meant that you don't get to have a social life. It's not true. You can choose to recharge as an introvert and be by your lonesome on a Friday night if you really want, but that doesn't mean that you can't be like the life of the party when you're around people. And I think like a big mindset shift that I had to have was number one, stop saying that you hate people. Stop like internalizing that because you don't. There's lots of people you like. You just choose to fixate on the people that you don't like to prove that fact to yourself so that you can feel justified in your identity. But what's actually true is that everyone has very similar experiences to you. And you can learn so much just by being around other people.
Facts,
and
though.
having people like you means that your life is going to be great. I love the idea of being like surrounded by people. I think it's so nice to like be at like a Thanksgiving dinner or something like that, or just a big get together with all your friends, because it's just all this energy in one room. And one of the reasons why you don't like people is because you think that they're judging you too, but it's actually that you're just judging them. And most of the time, like these people are gonna be really nice to you. If you can check all the things off of this list that I wrote down here.
He ain't capping, but I think I just seen the
Yeah.
shooting star
And
on
most
the
of
road.
the time, like these people are gonna be really nice to you.
I did. Y'all look right here. These stars do shoot, man. That's too hard. Watch right up in this area. I'm gonna go back one more time so y'all can see it.
They're judging you too, but it's actually that you're just judging them. And most of the time, like these people are gonna be really nice to you. If you can check all the things off of this list that I wrote down here, the 5 things that are gonna make you not a loser. If you can check those things off, people are gonna love you. You're gonna be magnetic to be around. And then it'll be way easier for you to be extroverted, to be, you know, social and talking to everybody and making friends and networking with people. And then you won't have that fear anymore and your whole life is going to get better. It's very difficult to have a really nice, fun life by yourself. I wanna have a big family. I wanna have like a bunch of kids. I wanna have like...
Man, he not lying though. My first goal is to get to a state of financial freedom. Been working towards it and still working towards it. But the older I get, the more I realize I think I want to have a big family, like just off the strength of I'm a very family oriented type of person. You know what I'm saying? The older I get, the more kids I want. Crazy, crazy. I said I want just 2 kids, but I'm understanding it now. Like family is a lot, man. Family is big.
Many friends that I can possibly take care of. I want to have a bunch of people in my circle that I can depend on because I think the more the merrier. The next step to that, once you've kind of decided that people are not scary, it's like, what can you do to be like extremely memorable to these people that you're talking to in your day to day? If you live in a place where tipping goes a long way, I've talked about this a lot. Like you can completely put someone in your pocket by being cool to them and like caring about them. A server, if you give a shit about them, you ask them questions, and then you tip really well, and you're just a cool person to be around, those people are like undyingly loyal to you. It's insane. There's this restaurant in Miami where I went there one time with my girl and I tipped really well on the bill. It was like a $300 bill and I tipped like 70%. And the server really liked me. And so he gave me a card, like his personal sort of card where it's like anytime I wanted to come into the restaurant, I could just book through him. And so I started doing that because I go to this place all the time. It's a really good restaurant. I would text him and be like, yo, Marlon, I'm coming in, bro. Like me and my girl or me and my boys or whatever. And be like, all right, cool. Like I got you set up, like come in, whatever. Most of the time, when you get a reservation, you're waiting at the bar. At least in Miami, you're waiting for a solid 10 to sometimes 40 minutes. I've waited 40 minutes at a bar at a restaurant because even though I had a reservation, they just don't have the space for you. If you go through Marlon, he will make sure that there's space for you and he will take such good care of you that it's not even funny. And so I'll go there and I'll have the best dinner ever because I feel like I'm getting VIP service just because I'm loyal to Marlon. Marlon's loyal to me. I tip him. He's happy to serve me, and we have a great relationship. There's another server at the restaurant where there was one time I was there like a month or two ago, and he was talking about how he was like,
it's big though, like that's random. And not being being afraid of strangers. Not being afraid of strangers. Major. It go a long way.
And we were talking about music, like how I used to like play guitar and stuff in sessions, and so like we were bantering on that. The next time I saw him, I was like, dog, how's music gone? And he showed me like his pitch deck. He said he's like this close to getting a deal or something like that, like a pub deal or something. And like you can't get the experience of being treated like a VIP unless you are a people person and you're generous and you see good in other people. So if you're gonna sit there and think that people are evil and people are dumb and whatever, like that's just the worst way to think about anything. And you're sabotaging your entire life. You're unlocking all of these new experiences that you would never get to have if it weren't for people. Life is short and the world is pretty small. Like there's only so many places that you can go on vacation to. There's only so many things you can buy. The only thing that really does feel truly infinite, experiences that no one else will get to have, are with other people. Like how many times have you seen someone post a picture of their honeymoon in fucking Bora Bora or like that one place at Capri, Italy? Like, everyone has been there. Everyone has done that. That's an experience that money can buy, that you can go and you say like, oh yeah, like the world is beautiful.
That's a fact, bro. But nobody can recreate the experience that you had with some other people. Just say you go over there and you meet a person, they take you to do something similar, but that someone they never did. It's kind of only to the people that, if you know type of vibe, and you get that experience, it's just one-on-one. That one-on-one experience is way different than that what that bread can buy. You jump off of some of the chain and you go and take a picture in the middle of the scene, and do what they going to Dubai. Everybody go take a picture in the middle of the scene with the dress. There's so much money, you know what I'm saying? Just say you meet somebody that can just take you and do some things that the average person can't do. Those experiences you can't make up.
And that's great. I want to do that too. The only experiences that are truly unique are between you and another person. And if you're going to sit there and sulk about how you're not a people person, you're socially anxious, and how you're introverted, you're denying yourself of millions of experiences you can have over the course of a lifetime. And that is one thing that you will probably regret heavily. So this is a mindset you absolutely need to change, or you're missing out on everything. All right, the last thing, the fifth thing, is probably the most important. And it's to add fun into everything you do. So this comes from a tweet actually that I saw from my friend Ricardo a while ago. And the tweet was very simple. It said, everything falls apart when you stop having fun with it. And I think that applies to everything. It applies to relationships, it applies to business, it applies to anything that you actually choose to spend your time doing. Most people take things way too seriously. And
that is major. A lot of people get old and everything start getting so serious. Man, have fun, smile, laugh, and enjoy. You got to enjoy what you're doing, no matter what. the gym, it get treacherous. I'm in the gym today finna throw up, but I get to the crib and I just start being grateful. And it was like, man, that was a great gym session. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm gonna be better than I was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have fun with it.
We forget that life is really good. If you've nailed the first 4 of these things, this 5th thing is gonna be really easy to do. Most people are so serious and so boring, and therefore bored and hate their lives because they just don't know how to add fun into the things that they do on a daily basis. And the best kinds of people to be around are the ones that are just like fun no matter what. I used to work in McDonald's, and there was a cook, and he just had this way of like, whatever.
It's a rare breed of being around people who just fun no matter what, man. I'm talking about make everything funny. I'm telling you, you find some people around you that can do that, man, keep them beside you, cause it'll make your life better.
Doing, whether it was like an overnight shift and it was 4 a.m. and I'm exhausted and I'm falling asleep, or it was just like really busy, or it was really dead, like in the store. He was always cracking up. He was always doing some goofball shit. He was always just like making kind of like a joke out of everything that he did, but he was still good at his job. He was actually probably one of the most competent guys that was working there. Everyone loves that guy or girl, but no one knows how to be that guy. And all that means is just like stop taking everything so seriously. I always think about like how I'm gonna feel when I'm 75. And like me personally, I'm gonna think about all the things that I've done. I'm gonna think about my body of work. I'm gonna think about money I've made, friends I've made, people I've taken care of, people I've helped. And I'm gonna realize that everything worked out the way I wanted it to anyway. So why was I stressing the whole time? You know what I mean? And I know it's kind of hard to think about, like if you are kind of in a dark place, like not everyone's like born to just like be able to make a joke out of everything. It is sort of like a gene. But it is something that I've learned. And the whole point of this video is like, I wasn't born thinking these things, having these beliefs, feeling this way about life. Up until very recently, 4 years ago, my life was not good. I was a bum. I was not an attractive person, like physically or emotionally or mentally or whatever. All of these things are very new to me. And the whole point of this video is to show you that there are things that you can change that will drastically increase your quality of life. And the worst thing that people can think is that they're born a certain way and they just need to be who they truly are. That's another toxic thing that I hate hearing. It makes no sense. And that they're just like, they're stuck with the hands that they're dealt, and you know, that's all they can do.
But
I just wish more people knew that life is completely custom. When you go off on your own as an adult, all of a sudden, everything becomes up to you. You can design your life, your brain, your environment, your friendships, however you want. Every single thing can be customized. Everything. It's the most custom thing. And if anything can be controlled by you, if anything can be dictated by you, it's your brain. Because you can't see it. You're feeding inputs to it. You're the one in charge.
Your brain is like a computer, and you are the one that put the files in there. I'm gonna say it again. Your brain is like a computer, and you are the one that upload files to it. Get that sink in.
Of saying what's happening. You can tell your brain to do anything, think anything, believe anything. If you know that that's true, the best thing you can do is just put quality information in there, good vibes, and just do everything you can to have a wicked life, make a bunch of money, have a bunch of friends, and just die with no regrets. None of this is gonna work unless you believe it works. Like, you have to really, really believe it. That's your superpower. That's the only thing that you can change. The only thing you can change is yourself. If you're taking away anything from this video, just remember, there are people who are born with an advantage, like Tate. There are people that are kind of just like designed differently. They have a mindset that's much healthier than yours off the bat. If you're not born with that, that does not mean that you're screwed. In fact, it means you're about to embark on the greatest journey ever. Because when I think about the difference between me now versus me 4 years ago before I started this whole thing, I'm more proud of how much more fun I have living in my own head and how much more confident I feel than I am about the money or the material stuff or anything like that. If you're watching this now thinking you're really down bad and you're hopeless and there's nothing that you can do, the best thing you can do is just act on the 5 things that I just told you, because that's exactly what I did. And
one thing you can't do is not act. Take notes, jot down. The first thing was a mission. Get your mission. Your mission may be to apply some of these steps to your life. Your mission may be And that can't be your only mission. Well, it can be, but you want more missions. You need multiple missions. You know what I'm saying? You grow, you learn, you keep going. You can't stop at one mission. You feel like you're accomplished. Oh, I did this mission, I'm done for the year. No, you can never stop, no matter what. You need that same New Year's drive every other day to keep you going. Keep going.
Proven to myself that this is possible, and I want you to do the same for yourself. Thanks for watching. This isn't normally the type of video that I make. Usually it's about money stuff, but I think that if you're gonna make money, best thing you can do is fix your head first. So if you enjoyed it, click like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I will see you in the next video.
For sure, man. We appreciate you tuning in to Yalvish NT channel 2025. We just wanted to start off with a mindset of a millionaire, man. We gotta keep striving to be great and do great. You know what I'm saying? Set your mission. And if you want to know all the steps, go back and rewatch the video one more time. If you like these type of videos, comment down below. Let me know you appreciate the type of video. For this is how we starting out 2025. I know this is not the normal video we normally do, but your boy Moan checking out, man. Like I said, we definitely appreciate y'all. I hope everybody have a great 2025. Started off great, started off running, and just keep going, man, and don't look back. So, with that being said, let me just see how you end the video. But that's really the end, you know what I'm saying? Rolls Rush stupid. That real Miami vibes right there. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all again. Your boy Moan checking out. At the end of the day, you already know. Stay Yalvish.